Lounge Season 2. I'm your host, Miss Kia, and to my right I have...
Hey y'all, I'm V.
Hey, it's J Lew.
What's up, everybody? Tiara the Diva.
Hey guys, so are y'all excited about Season 2?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
excited.
ready.
A lot of times come to y'all.
Happy New Year!
Yes. You know, Season 1 was good, but we got the ball rolling now.
Absolutely.
2020.
Hey, we got some amazing
Absolutely.
things going on in 2020.
Yeah.
So, to open up this show, we're going to get started with J Lew. What you got for us today?
So, like lately, within the past couple years, I feel like this conversation has been becoming just more open now when it comes to dealing with mental health. So I want to ask you ladies, what is mental health? What do you think mental health is? What is it to you? So what is mental health?
So mental health to me is not like a disease, but it's like a certain state of mind that you are in at the time.
Okay.
Maybe you can get out of it, maybe you can't, but to me mental health to me is just a state of mind that you may have.
So I feel like it's like a emotional, psychological, like social well-being, and that affects how you feel, the way you think, like all those emotions that you're going through. That's what I feel like, mental health is, and other factors that we'll discuss.
I think mental health is something that is experienced over time and that has been diagnosed as mental health by a doctor, and not your personal self.
Well, I kind of agree with that too. And I think it's something that has triggered for most people through childhood or through some type of experience that they went through. So that's basically what I think mental health is.
So I guess with saying that, what are some signs of mental health, for you guys? What do you think some signs of mental health are?
Like having like low or no energy, either too much sleep or too much eating, or like not eating or not sleeping at all. The different types of mood swings that you can go through, feeling like a high level, like just stress, level of distress or depression.
Depression and anxiety.
For me, I get
Suicidal thoughts.
Yes, I agree with some of those points, but I also think that it's other things that trigger it. It could be anything within your diet. It could be anything that you're smoking. It could be drugs that you're taking that can trigger those things to make you that way. Because it's not something that we're born with. Just like other diseases or problems that we may have, it's not something that you're really born with. It's something that's in your body that's triggering it.
Well, statistics have shown what I had read. It can be like some kind like biological. If it can be
Some type of chemical
imbalance where somebody could be going through like a bipolar disease, and that.
Well, what is causing that chemical imbalance? What are you putting in your body to cause that chemical imbalance? Because we weren't born that way.
I really can't speak too much on it. I haven't done too much research to justify what you're saying, but I do feel like mental health does have something to do with some sort of imbalance, be it chemical, be it mental. I just think that there is some sort of imbalance that's causing the emotions to come out in the way that it's coming out. I'm just not that informed on it, so I can't speak to whether I feel like you were born that way or you're not.
So what you got, Tiara?
Well, how do you think this is affecting our Black community today? Because, it's something that, honestly, we're speaking on right now. It's starting to be like this big thing in our Black community.
And Charlamagne the God has come out saying that, he had like mental health issues. And I think he's been pushing it a lot on a lot of the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. And a lot of people are coming out talking about things that happened to them in their childhood or whatever that makes them, depressed or have anxiety and stuff like that.
Go on.
In my opinion, I just feel like years ago, even growing up, I just feel like it was just the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding of what it was, really not having a name for it back then. It wasn't talked about in the homes. It was like, look, you pray about it, give it to God, you deal with it, you get over it. It wasn't
But
a
what
name.
type of things are you talking about, though?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, just the overall on the the outside of it was just, it wasn't talked about. You didn't know that if you having these numb, hopeless, helpless feelings, even if it was a traumatic experience, either through abuse or something, something traumatic, or accident that caused you to be depressed, you never looked at it as, oh, I'm going through depression. So it was just like, all right, I'm gonna just pray about it, or I'm gonna just deal with it. I'm not gonna talk about it.
So do you think that it's ignored in like the black family?
I do. I do think like back then ignored. And now that as time goes on and we're getting more knowledge and wisdom that is being put out there, like, and getting more information, like for myself. And I'm be very transparent. Like, yes, I'm looking back at it and going to a therapist. I suffer from depression and anxiety. And mine's come from as far as dealing with something in my childhood with my father, who we have a great relationship, but then I looked at the relationship he had with my mother. They were together, but did his thing around but seeing that, it was just like, I looked at that as I got older as, wait, my mom was, being there for my dad, doing this. I don't want that to happen to me. So let me do all this when I get into a relationship, make sure he don't cheat on me, make sure make sure he's happy and doing this. So at that time, in my high school and in my early 20s and college, I felt like I needed a man in my life to be happy. And when I didn't have that companionship, or if I wasn't making him happy, it's like now I'm out in this depressed mode. When we break up, I'm hurt. I feel all these crazy thoughts, numb, feeling like I don't even want to be here. Like I'm hurting, like I am hurting. He hurt me to my core. I was feeling depressed. And even another moment of after coming home from college, not working and having these dead-end jobs, not being in my purpose or what I'm doing now, I felt like I was in this rabbit hole. Like I felt like I can't see this light. I see the light, but I can't get out of it. I'm feeling so depressed that I just can't get out of it.
So would you constitute that as mental health, or would you constitute that as just life experiences, things you go through? I think there's a big difference, and that's the issue that I have with this topic. It's not that I don't agree with mental health in the Black community. I think it's very prevalent. I think it totally exists. I think things do happen in our childhoods, all of us, that really affect how we behave when we get older, be it anger issues, be it wanting to be with a man to feel that connection, being you were molested or raped when you were younger. There's a bunch of shit that we all deal with in some capacity, be it your parents getting divorced, anything, drugs, anything. But I feel like Black people in particular, and maybe some white people, maybe some Hispanic, maybe different other races, but I think there's a blurred line between things that you experience in life and mental health.
Right.
Do I think that depression and anxiety fall under mental health? Absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But do I feel like life experiences also cause you to be down? Yes, but I think there's a fine line. I think that when things go on in your life, we have to figure out a way, or family or your friends have to figure out a way to help pick you back up. I don't think that constitutes you saying, I have a mental health illness. I think there's a big difference. And I think that's the issue that I have with some of the Black people in our community. We're kind of riding off of the mental health wave. And that's just my personal opinion. Again, I am not saying that I think that everybody who's saying that they have some sort of mental health concern or issue is lying. I'm just saying I think there is a total fine line, and all of a sudden, if we're going through something in life, we're like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. I have a mental illness. And I don't necessarily think that's the case.
But
I feel like there's different levels. There's different levels of, I feel like there's different levels of depression. Like when I talk to, I'm going to, go to therapy and talk to my therapist. Like I feel like when I told her, suffering from high functioning depression. So I feel like I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's different levels to it. There's some people that it's deep for them. when you saying going through life experience, you go through that, you move on, you don't go through it. But when it's continuous in your life throughout the years, I feel like, yes, you are in a state of depression. So that's why I feel like, okay, that's a part of mental health. I may not be on that. Like I said, there's different levels that I think. I may not be on that low level of the mental health where it's like really deep for some people, but I feel like, okay, I suffer from high
But let me
functioning.
ask you this. Is this something that you diagnosed yourself with, or is this something
Well, no,
that
when
your
I-
Do you have to
therapist
take
told you?
medication? That's what I was going to ask you, because certain things that you go through, just like we all went through breakups, we've all went through traumatic childhoods. So we've been through some things, but it's not enough to trigger me as an adult constantly for me to feel depressed because of things that happened in my childhood. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
And everybody's
everyone-
different. So I'm not saying that the way you feel,
Right.
you have to feel the way. Like, I'm not saying that. I just
That's
feel
true.
like just we as Black people, we are diagnosing ourselves because of what, like I said, I'm not that informed on this topic. So I could totally be misspeaking, but I just kind of feel like we're riding the wave, and I feel like I can't tell you how you feel. That's not my job.
But you know what? And we have people in our family who are suffering through mental health, who are taking medication, but it's something that they put in their body to cause a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
And they were actually diagnosed through psychiatrists.
Correct.
As they having a mental illness.
And if you think about it, if you go all the way back, Black people in general, maybe all of us should be suffering through mental health because of all of the things that we went through.
We went through so much
Right.
as Black people in this world. I mean, going back
And I
to
feel
the
like it's still
slavery
happening.
days, it's
Still-
crazy.
yes, it's still happening.
So, and that's what I think about. It's like our ancestors went through way more stuff than we went through. Way more. So how are we sitting here and we suffering like, oh, I'm depressed because of this. Oh, I'm depressed because of that. But we had people in fields picking cotton, mind you. It's Black History Month.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? So we had people in the fields picking cotton, getting their asses beat, getting their limbs cut off. And we
Getting
sitting here
hung, lynched.
Exactly. And we sitting here and we're talking about, oh, I'm depressed because this person left me.
Yeah.
Or I'm depressed because I can't get this. You know what I'm saying?
That's my only issue with it. I think personally, I need to go see a psychiatrist, or I would
Therapist
love
or
a therapist.
psychiatrist,
I would love
because
to
it's
see
easy
not a psychiatrist. I'm sorry,
Therapist.
therapist. I'm a little cuckoo. No, a therapist, because I personally agree with talking to someone about your
Absolutely.
feelings. I don't see anything
Absolutely.
wrong with that, whether you are diagnosed with mental health or not. But again, I just think there's a blurred line between identifying as someone with mental health and someone just going through something. I think there's
And to be honest, when you go to therapy, it triggers some things that you didn't even know was there. And it gives you like an outlet to talk to people about stuff that you would never mention to your friends or your family and stuff like that, because they're not going to judge you. So it's always good to go through, therapy.
And that's why when y'all was saying, when I started realizing and recognizing these things and looking back at my past, I did look online. I'm like, wait, I do suffer from that. I have suffered from that. I do suffer from that. And that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? Let me go see somebody to get
Okay,
clarification.
so this is funny, like off topic, just to make a joke about something. But you know when you're reading something, like all right, let's say you got
like
a bump
you?
on your arm or something, and
I
then you
think
look
you're
it up and you're like, oh my
hypochondriac.
God, I have, blah, 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 because you're looking it up.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that you actually have it.
No, but
you know
that's
what I'm
why.
saying?
That's
But-
why I said, you know what? I decided to go see someone
Okay,
and
right.
once I gave her the background of everything, she did kind of confirm, like, yeah, you
Did
high
she
functioning.
kind of, or did she say,
Well, she
you
did.
know
She-
what, you are?
She did. She did confirm of what having high functioning depression. Yes. So first I thought it was just depression, but then that's when she said to me it was high functioning.
And can you tell us what high functioning depression is?
Right.
Give us a definition of it.
Well, this is what I would definitely give you the definition.
Almost
of
like
high.
an addict that's functional when he's an addict.
Like what?
You know how they say they're functional addicts? Meaning
Yes.
they can still go to work, they can still have a regular
can look
lifestyle,
at
but
them
they're
as-
addicted
yes.
to something.
So basically, it's depression or similar caused by major depression, but it's just less severe. Like you're saying, you can look at this person, like you said, they are addict. When you find out the truth about them, I can feel happy, and you're not going to always see it. Just like when I had mentioned to you the other day, you was like, since when? Just because I've never talked about it. You're not going to see it, or
Right,
I'm
but
not
I'm
going
your
to show
friend.
it. I know,
And
but I've never I never felt comfortable. Like I said, I didn't really recognize it before.
And some people are embarrassed. Like, some things is embarrassing to talk about.
But that's why I said it never was talked about in the black community. You just kept it on the hush. And it wasn't until, like I said, when it became more open now, I was able to just be okay with it, be comfortable with it, and speak on it. My mom didn't even know until I had told her. And then she was surprised.
Not to cut you off, but a lot of black people are dismissive. Meaning, so if you go to them and you try to talk to them about something, then they're like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. You fine.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So then it makes you go back into the shell like, dang, I tried to open up about it, but, you know, they just kind of, like, shut me down. So
and this is where it comes where, like, you got young kids, you know.
And a lot of our black parents are like that, too.
Yeah, you got young kids, like, at 9 years old, they could be suffering from slight depression because of what things going on in school, where a 9-year-old girl committed suicide because she told a teacher, you know, her being bullied things consistently, you know, told mom go to the school, tell them that, you know, something was going on with her child, and then she came home and then she hung herself. Because you never know, like, just the little
Do
small
you think
things.
it's something, I don't know, I can go back and then start quoting stuff from other people, but you know how we grew up? I feel like we had a lot of bullying going on, but you didn't hear about no kids hanging themselves or committing suicide. And now these kids, I don't know.
But you got to understand, they're so open to everything.
Yeah, with
maybe
the
social media.
Like when we were growing up, we didn't have these type of things opened up to us.
You get in a fight, it's recorded now. Everybody is seeing it. Everybody like world star now, you know. So,
but and honestly, it's upbringing too, because it's what you expose your children to. Because a lot of people will sit there and let their kids watch all types of movies and be on social media, looking at YouTube, crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a part too. So my thing is, at a 9 years old, how would she know to hang herself in a certain way that can kill her?
Right.
You see?
And they had some type of thing going out, like a clown that was telling people to kill themselves like a certain way. Yeah, that.
Momo.
And I was
I
like,
remember when last year my student saying that. I remember last year my student saying Momo, and I'm like, why are y'all saying that? And one kid came to me like, Miss Lewis, he keeps saying Momo, and I'm like, what is that?
It's really scary. It's really scary. And they had these kids like watching it because it was under the kids portion of YouTube. So when they turn on,
I did hear that.
Yeah, and then they would turn it on and they would tell kids different ways of killing themselves. It was horrific.
Did they take it there?
Yeah, they took it down.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember nothing like that when we was growing up.
exactly. And that's why I said it's what you expose your kids to. Like, they shouldn't be watching and listening to certain things. They should be kids. You know, give them that space to have a childhood.
But from a mental health perspective, so, okay, you shared your mental health experience, and have any of you, you know, just gone through mental health, or do you have something that you would constitute as mental health, or have you ever been diagnosed with mental health?
No.
I diagnosed myself.
You diagnose yourself with everything.
Depression and anxiety. I'm depressed with the people I work with.
They do say that can be from work.
No, I have been depressed through work. I had
they
to
say
take,
that
like,
can
go
be-
to my doctor. I had to take off, like, a couple weeks. I couldn't deal with it no more. They were, like, bullying me so bad. And I was like, all right, so do I go off? Because I've done this at a job, and I cussed everybody out. And then I got suspended. And then I went to, you know, another job. And they did almost the same thing to me. But this time I was like, you know what? To keep my sanity, peace, and to keep my job, I'm going to just go to the doctor. They wrote me a note, and then I was able to just be away from work for a couple weeks, just to kind of like recuperate and deal with people, differently.
Yeah, because your mental health is everything. Sometimes, like I said, mental health is just that what you know, going through mentally is just, it can drain you.
And you're at home, work more than you are at home. So being around those people drives you crazy. And then you come home, you have nothing left to give the people that you really love, you know, with your family and stuff, because you're so depressed or down because of work.
So, what is good mental health for you guys? Is there such thing as good mental health?
I think that there's something that it can be good for your mental health. Like certain motivations, speaking, like watching meditation, motivational phrases, being spiritually involved, or some things that can give you that good mental health.
Spa day.
Spa days
having
for
some type of
relaxation.
outlet
Yeah.
that allows you to take care of your own mental, state and sanity.
Self-care, self-love is just having that inner peace is, for you to just wake up every day and get through the day, especially like you said.
Affirmations are good.
Yes. I have those on my mirror every morning when I get up and go to the bathroom. I see them and I say them to myself every morning before I go to work. Yeah. But always remember, check on your strong friends because they, sometimes you never know. You never know what a person is going through.
Can I ask you one question? I mean, you put it out there already, so I want to ask you, how long has it been since you've been diagnosed?
When I started going to therapy in March.
March of last year in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Do you enjoy it or?
I do. Like, I go, at first I was going like every week. But then with now when school started and my other job, I go every other week now. But it's always something comes up and it's like, oh man, I can't wait to go see her because I got to talk to her about something. It's something that I need to get out and express to her. A lot of stuff with, my personal life and professional at that, has drained me. But it's good to just vent and get that out and then have her basically tell me to go home and do homework that I need to do to work on me to get out of whatever that I'm going through.
Do you mind if I ask a question?
Sure.
I don't mean to make this episode about you, but so you said what triggered you to go and see someone was because you kind of experienced something in a relationship that made you feel lonely, or what is
like feeling when I get into that depressed mode. And like I said, I look back, I had to sit and look back at all my relationships since college and afterwards and stuff. And not even just relationships, when it came to, like I said, as soon as I had graduated and wasn't working, that state of mind that I was in. And it was just that what triggered me to talk to her. And I'm like, why is this a cycle for me?
So would the cycle be that you so prior to college, did you experience anything that would cause you to feel, because I guess I'm just trying to wonder if you're just feeling like I'm depressed because, maybe I'm not in a relationship, or maybe I want to be in a relationship, or maybe this relationship ended like this, or maybe at the moment I'm not working, or maybe at the moment I'm not, getting paid what I want, or whatever life. I'm just trying to figure out, is it, would I consider that personally circumstantial, like your circumstances, or would I consider that, and again, this is me, not you, so I don't want to put my thoughts on you, or would I consider that like, dang, I can't get out of bed, I can't think, I can't walk, I can't even be in a relationship with someone because mentally I am so out of it.
And that's how I felt. Even looking back, like in high school, it was times where it was just like, when it came to like me running, not getting where I need to be, I would be all like depressed, like, man, I don't even want to go to practice, I don't even want to run no more. Like, I was constantly in that state of mind.
But did you do it, or did it not allow you to live those everyday, day-to-day
That's what I'm saying.
activities?
That's where, I still did. That's why I say when that whole high functioning, where it was just like, I still did it, but I still felt depressed and so just not where I wanted to be at that moment. And it was a constant feeling all the time throughout, and even in college. When I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be when it came to track, I felt back in that what I was feeling in high school mode again. And there was times where it's like, I didn't even go to class.
So what is the difference between feeling like you're not accomplished and then feeling like I need to work harder to accomplish it? Like, how do you know what
I thought that I was, trying to go out there and work my behind off or whatever and run like this, but I'm like, why am I not seeing these results? What am I doing wrong? I feel like I thought that I was, and I would pray about it and everything, but I still was like, just
do it. You feel like in a way that some of the things that you did through your life, you were entitled to it, so you felt like you should have had it, but you didn't?
No, I never felt like I was entitled.
Does it bother you? Like, you on the spot.
I know, like,
Again, you put it out there.
I'm getting hot
Like, you know,
now.
some of your other friends
Getting
might
hot.
have relationships, or they might be having kids, or they might be getting married, whatever, and then you feel like, okay, maybe I'm just stuck in this place. Is that something that kind of like triggers it? Because you said like it has something to do with
It has, because of being about, 2020, turning 35 this year. I would say it does pop up in my head of, I put it like this, in my early 20s, I felt and thought that I would be married and at least have a kid by now. Like when I was like 19, 20, I said, oh yeah, by 35, 34, I'll have to be married, have a kid, But one thing, like I said, that having that support system and love and family of friends by my side, and then my faith is what's saying, you know what, stop rushing it. It's going to be on God's time, But like I said, but it still does trigger in my head, like, dang, then when you think that you're in this relationship with somebody and thinking that it can be something and then it doesn't work out to what it is, just like, it does put me back into that place, like, here we go again, like, starting all over again and doing this, that, and the third, but like I said, but I'm a strong person. Like, it is what it is. I move on. Like I said, I have my moments, but move forward.
Well, we support you, Jen.
We do.
Here on the Pillow Talk
We do.
Line.
We support you.
Put myself out there. Everything all on me.
Anybody
We
who
all have our issues. Trust me.
Absolutely.
It's not just you. You just actually went to somebody
to talk about it.
So, this has been a good conversation.
This has been a great
We want
conversation.
to tell the audience, like, don't be afraid to go talk to somebody about it. Like,
Absolutely.
get it out, because once you do, and having someone to talk to that's not going to be biased, that doesn't know you, you'll feel so much better to really get through.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies. I guess that wraps up our season 2 premiere. So make sure you all check us out down below on our Instagram.
Comments, please.
Absolutely,
Yes,
definitely.
comments.
Please leave your comments.
Yes.
and
What is
share
mental
your
health to you? Yes. Share
Absolutely.
your
What
thoughts.
mental health means to you.
Yeah.
And talk about your experience.
And happy Black History Month.
Yes.
We'll see you next time. We'll see everybody next time right here on the Pillow Talk Lounge.
Good night.